agree with that. But I just like how smooth they did it, man.
It's nice.
And you know what? As being a Man United fan, and there's one of my mates who has literally been fuming, and this is what. As a United fan, it is so frustrating to see the way City are just going about things now.
You can't compete with them right now, man.
It's just a madness.
Souths.
Dripping.
But also, in terms of teams having good windows, but I think Liverpool, you guys had a shocking window. Shocking. It's shocking.
It's a tough one for Liverpool.
Shots fired at the Liverpool, man.
I'm sorry, I've got to be honest. I don't.
But do you think like Liverpool, in terms of Liverpool's situation, is not too dissimilar to Spurs? Like their team is close knit. Like going into another season with the same team could benefit them.
What's happening, people? We are back again with Everyone's a Pundit, and this is the final part. Thank you all for watching. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and like and share with your people them, yeah? Alright, big up. So yeah, man, we're gonna get into some more transfer talk. The transfer, it was an enjoyable win. It was an enjoyable, that's one thing I will say. I will say like, you know, like back in the day where the man them, you check a girl, you first link a girl and all of that, and then you're like, is she gonna text? Is she interested? You're looking at your phone. Guys, don't go on like you ain't done this. Yeah, every man them has looked at their phone.
Man, I was on Twitter, Instagram, I was on the group.
Yeah. I put my phone on loud. I'm like, please, someone call me, tell me something.
Every update, you just check it. Is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just kept looking to Zars. Surely Zars.
It was a madness. But what are we saying though about Man City's window? I know you want to get into Man City, Pat, so take it away.
I think personally, they probably went under the radar. I think they had the best window, if I'm being honest. They brought in two quality players. Rodri, quality, and Cancelo, quality. Yeah. And they go about their business so smoothly.
So smooth, man.
They're in talks, they're going to bid 40 million, but the team wants 60.
That's what helps them.
Do you know what I mean? It's just bish, bosh,
bang. Because when it comes to the way we go for transfers, it's like, you put in that 45 trying to test them. Once the media get onto that, that's done. They've put in a bid, they've been rejected. So then the other team's thinking, right, like we're gonna ask for more money. When we was talking about the City documentary when they were in for Laporte, the phone calls were just like, is the player available at this price? Go in for it.
And the next thing you see Laporte suited and booted on a private jet. And next thing he's changed.
It's done.
So I think they had a brilliant window. Rodri, talented, will come in. I mean, as we all know, their team is so deep as it is, and they brought in two players that will arguably start. And Walker's got to watch out now.
I think they did.
No, Walker. Do you think Walker will start?
No,
he's finished now. He's finished.
I think they did well as well with the Danilo going to Juventus. That was something that you don't really expect City doing within their transfer. Because usually you just think, they're just going to pay it outright. But they're like, listen,
because Cancelo's arguably worth 60 million, so they obviously shipped Danilo for like 25.
I think like 30.
And then they paid the difference. So they upgraded. And they've obviously, we all know they're already sick. So
when you see their team, somebody posted their team in one of our groups, and
it's scary, isn't it? It's mad. When you look at the options,
Mahrez
can play, Aguero can play. What is it? You got Sane. Obviously, he's injured for a long time, but they're not really gonna miss him because they've got Sterling.
No, it's too much. Their options are mad.
But the way you keep these players happy is by winning.
I
always say this, like, you could have all these stars that people but they've got too many stars. If you're winning, no one's complaining.
I never complain, but you know it's hard to argue.
You know what? We mentioned this on the last podcast because Jason was talking about playing second fiddle to Kane, and I was saying that's what Spurs' problem is, bringing another top quality striker in to play second fiddle. At City, you can do that because at the end of the season, you're picking up your winners medal.
When you're in the rooms and you're there, no one's caring. Imagine you win the league or you win a cup and you came on 5 minutes, you're not gonna care. You know, you want that medal.
Deep down,
you know what I mean?
Players, If you're a top player, you want minutes.
You said it's harder to.
It's harder to be disgruntled and feeling like, oh, I'm not part of the team when you're winning. Because everybody can kind of understand their role.
Yeah.
And have you played football?
Yeah.
So you know when you're in that dressing room and you're winning and that camaraderie and the
point in time, it doesn't affect you. As soon as you're not winning, like it's usually the next season after you won the league, and then now you're not winning, the things are not going great, and now you're thinking to yourself, like, why am I jamming on the bench?
I should be playing. I should be playing ahead of my man and that. Yeah,
so
definitely.
So City, fantastic window, went about it quietly. They added quality to already deep squad. They're going to be a problem.
I agree with that. But I just like how smooth they did it, man.
It's nice.
And you know what? As being a Man United fan, and there's one of my mates who has literally been fuming, and this is what... As a United fan, it is so frustrating to see the way City are just going about things now.
You can't compete with them right now.
It's just a madness.
Dripping. It's like Pep knows everyone's just watching, and he goes and like throws in these cheeky little insults like, "Oh, we can't afford Maguire." Like, bitch, please.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think a lot of teams this season have adopted that tactic. You know, in terms of just not coming out and being outright.
Yeah.
But you know what I would say though is City. I mean, City, the way they buy players, it's never like what we've done. This big record. You know, we did record for Pogba, Big P for Lukaku, P for. They never buy
players like 60.
Exactly.
They don't.
So I'm wondering, do they have a model that says that you're not gonna go, and then maybe that's why Maguire is out.
I don't think they put themselves in a position to need a marquee player to kind of appease everybody. You know what I mean? They're in a position where it's just like they're adding 60 million there. They're adding 50 million. And you don't really care. But
the squad's so they don't need to.
Pogba situation was like at that point in time you needed.
We needed it.
Also, the Ozil situation we needed.
To bring everything.
There you go. You know.
So when you guys signed Ozil, there was like
mad euphoria, crazy.
Outside the Emirates, and like that night. Obviously, like with scarves, and the next day you guys sold out his shirt straight away. It was crazy. So. But also, in terms of teams having good windows, but I think Liverpool, you guys had a shocking window. Shocking. It's shocking.
It's a tough one for Liverpool.
Shots fired at the Liverpool, man.
I'm sorry, I've got to be honest. I don't.
But do you think like Liverpool, in terms of Liverpool's situation, is not too dissimilar to Spurs? Like their team is close knit. Like going into another season with the same team could benefit them, but at the same time,
I don't think so.
But I'm just saying in the sense like it's difficult to kind of make changes.
You know what Klopp was saying, and I agree. No, I don't agree, but I can understand what he's saying is that they finished so close last year. How much can they really improve?
But then also on the flip side, you amassed 97 points, which is pretty much unheard of to not win the league. So essentially, they had a record-winning league. In terms of point position, you only lost one game.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's the only
you still didn't win the league, so you knew you fell short. And the fact that also mine and Sems and I said this from a couple of weeks ago. The fact that all your key players, none of them got injured over the course of the season, that's unheard of. So Liverpool had all the strokes of luck last season. The goal against Tottenham where Lloris dropped the ball and they scored.
The one against Everton
where Pickford stupidly went and picked the ball behind the line, dropped it and Origi scored. They had a lot of strokes of luck. Usually you don't get that. The fact that no key players got injured and then all of a sudden, bish, bosh, bang, their first game yesterday, Alisson after 15, 16 minutes, he's injured. The whole last season, Alisson played first.
He felt like he got hit in the back of the leg or something.
It's not looking good for him. So the whole of last season...
And this is first game as well, people. First game. But
can I say, in terms of Klopp, I think, he's of the type of manager that believes in his team. So if you're asking the question like, did they have a good window? No, they didn't have a good window. In terms of Klopp himself, I feel like he feels like he wants to reward those players for getting so close.
One thing I'll say,
I think they should have brought in just one or two players just to add to that squad, because now when they do get players with injuries, because you've got to look at it as well, Mane played pretty much the whole of the season and then went deep into the AFCONs. all the Brazilian boys played the whole of the season, and then they obviously won their cup.
Yeah, they definitely missed a trick. They needed to bring someone.
You know what?
Played a lot of games, and then they're gonna, you know what I mean? Well, Alisson's already injured.
Yeah,
so.
it's a simple thing in life, yeah, that you don't stop. You keep pushing forward. You don't rest on your laurels, which we said a little while ago.
Yeah,
and the thing is,
we suffered. Over the course of the season, yes, we got lucky in the Champions League and we got to the finals, but
the thing is, they got the stadium thing and all of that. You can understand their reason. Liverpool, I don't know what the reason is. And the thing as well is what we all have to remember. They didn't win the league. They didn't win the league. So if you're City and you do that, then okay. But you didn't win the league, and the person and the team you didn't win the league to have gone and strengthened.
Exactly. So that's
I think I'm just seeing it in the sense of like the reason why they haven't, rather than we obviously can see that they've not strengthened. They've not done anything to make us feel like they're going to win the league.
There's going to be reasons, just like I was talking about Oli having reasons. Klopp's got his reasons.
Of course, Liverpool fans can let us know.
But I'm telling you, man,
you guys let us know, man.
I think personally, they've missed a trick.
I think so.
Even as we speak, their keeper's injured.
Yeah,
he might be out for a while.
And he's a big player for them.
And Adrian, he's a decent backup keeper, but he's not on Alisson's level. So if you're,
that's going to be interesting to see because.
They're going to want to play. West Ham let him go. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
West Ham let him go.
So you got West Ham's rejects now. West Ham rejects in goal for you.
For a while. The window's closed, isn't it? It's not like the window's open and if these things happen, we can go out.
This is why I love the fact that once the season starts,
it's done.
What you got is what you got.
You got to hold that. So it's going to be very interesting. It's added a new dynamic. I personally feel Liverpool should have went out and got one or two more. They didn't. We'll see if it was a stroke of genius or if over the course of a season.
The thing is that Liverpool, they got close last season. Surely the goal this season is to win the league. And you're probably going to struggle now, especially as City have strengthened, man.
What about their neighbours,
and
man?
Everyone else
what about their neighbours?
Everton
have done quite
I think Everton have had a decent window, boy.
I think they've had a good window, not decent.
Oh, okay.
I know they lost.
For Everton.
You know what? My decent for me is good.
Okay.
I know.
I think
if I see,
they've got a good window for in terms of Everton. You know, like Gomez. They've brought him in. I think he performed.
He was good last season.
Really well.
He was.
So they solidified that. They brought in obviously Moise Kean. Good
Kean.
young buck. Obviously, it's going to be different now. You're not coming off the bench and being an impact player. You're playing week in, week out. So
he showed a bit of magic out there in Italy.
But it's different now. He's their talisman now. So
I'm not sold on him, you know.
No, I 100% don't believe they brought him based on the fact that he's gonna finish. Kian is a young buck that's coming through, and I think they've just bought him in terms of the future.
What did you call him?
Is it Kian?
See,
I'm calling him Kean.
Yeah, but that's what. But you know what? It might be Kean because that's what I'm saying. Because everyone's saying Moise Kean. I'm thinking Moise Kean. That probably ain't it.
I got it right. You know,
I think you. That's why I pulled you up because everyone's saying Kean, including me, and then I'm thinking you're probably right. I think he's right.
So we'll see, but but also,
do you know who else? Do you know who else I thought like the Idrissa Gueye?
Yeah, I was about to say. I was just about to touch on that.
Could have held on to him.
Yeah, they lost Idrissa Gueye. They replaced him with Delph. We're gonna see how that works out.
I think that'll work well.
I think it's okay.
I think for a team like Everton, he's functional, he's experienced.
He was quietly one of the best players in the Prem
over
the last few seasons.
He was, but again, Everton, their ceiling's only so much. So I think Delph can come in and do a job, man.
They've done well to get Delph in from early, though. Once they've identified that they're Idrissa's guy, and they brought him in. You got to remember Delph, former, champion. He's been in a dressing room with other champions.
Exactly. He's experienced as well.
Very experienced. He went to Man City and obviously didn't hold his normal position down, but he was able to adapt.
The thing is, whenever he came in for City, dependable, man.
He looked alright.
That's the word.
Dependable,
He didn't look out of place.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when a player comes in, you're like, whoa.
He looked alright. He knows his way around the football pitch, man.
I think it's just up to Silva to find out how he can best get that team.
And obviously he brought in a Wobie as well last minute, so that will be interesting.
Your boy.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Obi-Wan Irobi, the Nigerian Jedi. We'll miss you, man.
It'll be interesting to see.
Iwobi, you got a fan here.
You know
now
he knows.
Will he start? Will he make a difference? You know, what will Iwobi do now? He's at the next stage of his career now, where he's got to bring something.
But I think, you know what? I think he's got the raw talents. Personally, I think Iwobi. So I think at a club like Everton.
Maybe. That is true.
He can flourish, man.
A lot of the time, he was very much a scapegoat at Arsenal, and I felt it was a tad unfair. I can understand, you know, in terms of his end product wasn't there, but I just felt like coming on to this season, another first team season with quality players in the team, I felt like maybe he'd be able to push on. But maybe at Everton, where the mistakes you can make, you can't make at Arsenal. You can make at Everton.
That's what it is.
And then you can push on. You know, like, you know, it's a bit like, I'll give an example when De Gea first come. The mistakes he was probably making at, you know, Atletico was acceptable. When he came to United,
it's not spotlight in the field of dreams. Everything's magnified.
Yeah,
and you know what? This is the funny thing about transfers, and when they say you need to give players time, because De Gea was a keeper. I was like, this guy, get him out now.
But you look,
and then
the people that knew what was going on, they knew.
And now
but sometimes it don't always work out. But
based on time, though. Based on time, because sometimes like you see, the player's gone. You think he just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, he didn't have enough time, man.
It's about being faithful. Well, it's just about believing in the player as well. So you know.
So
like my thing with Foyth as well. Last year, every time I saw him on the team sheet, I was like, man, why is this guy on again? Giving away penalties, mistakes, fouling, getting sent off. But Poch is giving. I know he's injured now, but I'm hoping over time he can become.
Well, look, he's Argentinian, right? And he plays for the national team, so he must have a bit about him.
What about Wolves, man?
Wolves.
I think.
Because I think we're all in agreement in terms that Wolves.
I don't think there'll be a threat much this season, unfortunately.
They probably needed to bring in a few more bodies.
When that Diego Costa rumour was about,
I know, that's when I was like, wow, Wolves are looking.
The phone was going. I was thinking, player like that.
Going to Wolves.
This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes